Hello, guys. So I want to take you guys through just a really quick reading that I just did for a repeat client of mine. We will call her Anna. And this is a feelings question. And I also wanted to show this one especially because, I feel like we could all use more practice on feelings questions. Everyone has very different opinions about romantic feelings questions. And of course, they're perfectly valid to do. I do them all the time. They're actually my most favorite question to do because I really like to see the way that the cards can explain human emotion and especially romantic emotion. So this is going to be a good example for that and how we just kind of read this as a single sentence and keep it really, really simple. Which this is obviously in two rows of four, but I read this. I mean, ideally, it would be in the full eight card line, but of course, for the sake of keeping this all in frame, I had to put it like this. So don't think of it as two rows of four, think of it as one line of eight, just one coherent sentence that we're reading. So as I said, this is a reading for a repeat client who we'll call Anna, and she has been going out on a couple of dates with Ben. We'll call him Ben. And she's been seeing him for about a couple weeks, but she's been kind of feeling a little off from him lately. Like he's been pulling away a little. And, I didn't get any specifics from her because I don't really want any details beyond that. That's as much of a context as I need. So, she asked basically she wanted to know after these 2 weeks of seeing him, how does he feel about her romantically? And so these are the cards we got. We got Clouds, Coffin, Stork, Tower, Heart, Woman, Spirit card, and Bouquet. And a little note on the Spirit card. I do apologize for those of you who don't work with the Rana George Lenormand, which is what this deck is. I work with the full 40 cards because she has 4 extra cards, the Spirit being one of them here. I work with a full 40 for every reading, every situation, unless I'm specifically taking them out because I need to teach the traditional 36, but typically I keep the 40 in because I love just the way that they expand a reading and what they add. And of course, if any of you work with this deck, you already know those cards are amazing, so I always keep them in. So I do apologize for those of you who don't recognize the spirit, but I'm going to kind of walk you guys through that. It has to do with your spirituality, it has to do with intuition. It's like destiny, fate, meant to be, which is exactly kind of what it comes as here. It's also the card of like your inner spirit, your soul, stuff like that. So how does Ben feel romantically about Anna? Well, we start with the clouds and the coffin, and already it's starting very negatively, very full of doubt and insecurity, and the clouds brings obscurity, and it's always, the clouds always puts doubt and uncertainty on your path. And then to see the coffin, for me, especially under a romantic feelings context where the context permits, and the surrounding cards, the coffin can be fear, and like someone is afraid and they're almost like being paralyzed by that fear because the coffin also means like they're being stuck, they're stagnant, so they're not moving or acting. Um, and so to see these two cards, the clouds and the coffin together, I'm already getting a feeling like he's confused, very confused, and he has a lot of doubt, and he's not moving. He has a lot of fear too because of the coffin. About Stork and Tower, Stork is about elevation and taking something to the next level, advancement. But the tower is coming as reservation, it's coming as limitation, restriction. He's putting up boundaries. So when you see the tower come after the stork, and especially with these negatives here that are preceding it, that stork with all of its, elevation and moving to a new level is being blocked because the tower is putting up a wall. It's like he's putting up boundaries. So already like these 4 cards here, I'm already seeing a strong feeling of like he's not allowing himself to take that relationship and those feelings to a new level because of the tower, because he's limiting himself, because he's putting up boundaries, because there's something going on, some stuff for him in his mind that it's preventing him from being able to want to take it forward. Something's like stucking him basically. But then we look at this and we see good cards. This looks so, you have such negative here with the clouds and the coffin, and even the tower in this instance is kind of coming as a little bit of a hindrance, but then you have the heart and the woman and the bouquet, which, the heart and the bouquet are all, they're positive, and they're really good positive, especially under this context about romantic feelings, because, you know, heart, woman, but he does, this is like a but. So when you go, this is kind of like one part of the sentence, and then it splits, and then it's like, but he does like her, but he is interested in her. He does have romantic feeling because of the heart card. And then there she is. And when you see, in this context, because it's about how he feels about her, and we pulled the woman card, that woman is her. It's affirming her in the reading. That's all it's doing. And then, originally, I actually should have said this at the beginning, but here we are. I originally only intended to pull 6 cards, which would have ended on the woman, but I don't usually like to end on either the man or the woman card in a reading, because, it's, for me, it's kind of like that sentence is not done. It literally, like, if we're reading this as a sentence, it's ending on that man or that woman, and we don't know what's coming after them. We don't know, what is being said after them, what's describing them, whatever, or what are they doing. It depends on the context, but I don't like to end on those cards, because basically it's like an unfinished ending. It's like that sentence isn't done yet. You need to pull 1 or 2 more depending. So I pulled 2 more. I pulled the spirit and the bouquet. And the spirit right after her, and especially with the heart before her, is saying he feels, so he likes her, he's interested in her, and he feels, because the spirit, like I said, it's about your spirit, it's about your soul, it's about something that's meant to be. It's like he feels like a soul bond with her. He does feel like, this is for like a higher reason, because the spirit is always about something that is fated. It's super meant to be. It's for a deeper purpose than you might be seeing, on the surface. So it's definitely like he super feels this connection with her. He does, but the top 4 are saying that he feels all of that fear and that doubt, and it's preventing him from taking this relationship to a new level. Something is standing in his way and preventing him from moving forward with these feelings. And then, of course, the bouquet at the end is saying, and he finds her beautiful, he finds her attractive. So, it's like it starts out bad, but he does have feelings. It's just what he's going to do with those feelings, he's, not really sure about yet. So I told her all this, and she came back to me and she said, actually, it's funny, the first line makes sense, she said, because, he just got out of apparently a 7-year relationship. And I believe she said that his ex-girlfriend broke up with him. And I believe that was back in December, which it's only June now, so it's only like what, 6-ish, almost 7 months away from December that this all happened. And that's not a long time when you just got out of a 7-year relationship. I mean, So it makes perfect sense. He has the confusion, the doubt, the fear. He doesn't want to take it forward just yet because, the tower, he's got a lot of reservation. He's got a lot of personal limitation that's preventing him from doing so. And when she said that he had just gotten out of a relationship and it was relatively recent, I was like, I mean, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense that he wouldn't want to take anything forward just yet because he's not ready. Who knows where he's at in his journey of healing. But and she was like, I do feel like he does like me, which of course makes sense because we do have cards here that are all saying he likes her. There's no doubt about that. These bottom 4 cards are like, wow. He really feels it for you. He's very interested in you. It's just he's got some stuff going on. And for those of you who, because the coffin, when it comes after a negative card like this, yes, it can be ending the negative, the card before it, of course. But for me, I need to see, first of all, the context needs to permit that meaning. I need to feel it intuitively as long as the context permits it. And I always usually need a positive card to come after the coffin to show that there is a positive outcome to turn that coffin into an ending of the negative before it. Yes, the stork is positive here, but because our context doesn't really support that coffin becoming an action of ending the clouds, I saw it as more of like the clouds and then the coffin and then the stork and then the tower. So it was kind of like, we're talking about his romantic feelings. You're just reading these as feelings, and the clouds is doubt, it's confusion. Coffin, fear. Stork, taking it to a new level, wanting to improve, but the tower, reservation, limited. He feels, very held back. So in this context, the coffin is not ending the clouds, and the stork is not improving the situation. It's only talking about his feelings romantically and, everything going on there.